Hey everyone, and welcome back. We've had a couple of false starts, and as you can see, my video is a little bit chunky. You see, it's just as it drops.
Yeah.
It's dropping frames.
Yeah.
Should be fine. It should be fine. Let me go and
No, that's okay.
have
You're good. You're good.
We good?
Yeah, I think so.
It's making me fucking nervous. Anyway, as you can hear, I have a special guest with me, which is, actually, I'll just let you introduce yourself, considering I actually don't know your real name. I just know you as...
people call me Mr. Blunt.
I was going to say, I just know you as Mr. Blunt.
yeah, and I own Bluntcollections here on the Gold Coast.
Fantastic. Now, there's a couple of stories that I've heard along the way that I know to be true.
Yes. Keep me.
So, pretty much, and let me just turn off this chat box notifier because that is annoying. There we go. Bye, alert box. So, from what I understand, there was a period in your life where you were pretty much just... I don't want to say the word slacking because that just has such a weird connotation to it.
It was worse than slacking, I think.
Yeah. Okay, good. I was like, I don't want to be offensive, but you pretty much were just laying around doing nothing, just smoking a whole bunch of ganja and just being like, fuck life.
Yep, exactly.
And it took for your partner pretty much just being like, you need to sort your shit out, I'm out, for you to go, actually, no, I have fucked this shit up and I need to figure it out. And then you turn into one of the most successful breakers in Australia.
I appreciate that, mate. Yeah, it's been...
it's true.
It was just, not a good time. I actually was quite competitive in basketball and indoor netball as well. I actually had a knee injury, which basically had to get surgery, had to wait 6 months for that surgery through the public system. And basically at that time, I basically just kind of gave up. It was just like everything that I had going for me at the time. I had a good job, which was in hospitality, managing a cafe, and obviously playing sport every night of the week. I was the fittest I've ever been. Like, I've been big in my life. I think the biggest I've been is 150 kilos, and I think I lost at least 50 kilos of that in the space of 18 months playing, sport and getting back into it. So it was kind of, I was in a really good space, and then it kind of all just went away when that knee snapped. So I just got addicted to Fortnite basically, and there was
of all things, fucking Fortnite. Fortnite.
There was 18 hours a day. I was sitting there playing that, like you said, smoking the weed, spending all the money and everything, and basically my partner left me, and I just went, you know what, I actually was a big part of Cherry breaks in the early days for me. I think I was probably in every single one of their breaks every night of the week with multiple spots. I absolutely loved it. And then, it kind of got to the point where I kind of saw that gap in the market where at the time it was really only Cherry and a few others. At that time, there was kind of, I think, like, obviously playing Fortnite, I was going to go down the path of streaming myself, watching a lot of Twitch streamers and all of that kind of other stuff. I saw like a more interactive side that I could bring to the table, as well as obviously a little bit of value from what I saw in it. And I basically started Blunt by doing $4.20 breaks every afternoon at 4:20 and grew my customer base that way.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
And we were breaking 18, 19 prison blasters, 2 of those for $4.20 a spot. How's that, hey?
Times. Hey, it's funny because, so my foray into trading cards started when I was a kid. And I actually started out with, 90s basketball. I was one of those kids who had his own stall at the PCYC and was selling, Jordans and Malones and whatever else, and sealed ultra boxes and things. Thanks to Trading Faces on the Gold Coast at Broadbeach, was my stockist before I started running Underground Groove in Coolangatta for Tony. So going back a long time. Buying boxes of of Fleer 88 and 89 for, you know, $50 a pop, and then selling off packs like fairly cheap for the time, really. But
$3
like,
or $2 a pack. It's still
yeah,
making
exactly. And now seeing the prices of
Yeah.
like, you know, boxes going for like 14 grand of some of that shit, and it's like, oh man, we were buying those boxes for like $100, you know, $50, buying them for what
Yeah.
we could get them for, and then, you know, selling for what we thought was slightly overpriced.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like, so I feel you when it comes to like how the hobby has changed, especially when it comes to breaking. Like, I only found out about breaking, it was a couple of years ago now, actually. It was before everything exploded, because one of my friends was working for Cherry at the time, actually. One of my DBZ friends.
Yep.
Because I'm a big competitive card game player, surprise, surprise. He says, being the fat man that he is. Also need to drop some weight. I'm working on it. I'm getting old and fat.
Oh no, it gets harder when you get older, doesn't it?
Dude, like I hit, I'm hitting 43 this year, and I'm 135. So I'm like, now is definitely the time I want to start like getting things down. Like, I want to be 90 to 100 at least.
Just get out there and play some Pokemon Go, mate. I literally way of playing that. I was like, I'll just keep walking, at least 2 battery packs worth of phone charge. Used to do like just a little exercise for each Pokemon type, catch a grass one, do some push-ups, something like that. Just something fun to motivate you, something different. You know, you could do it when you're ripping packs.
Exactly. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, we did the Pokemon thing. We absolutely did it.
Yeah.
Now, whereabouts on the Gold Coast is your shop actually situated?
It's in Varsity Lake, so I'm not sure if you know where that is, but it's about 10 minutes from Burleigh, 15 minutes from Broadbeach, 5 minutes from Avina Town Centre. It's a good little area. We've got an IGA. The post office is my next door neighbour, so that's been an absolute blessing when it comes to getting some mail.
2 doors down from you.
And obviously receiving mail as well. No, literally next door. So I walk outside, my PO box is my it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And website stuff. Where is your website?
I don't have a website.
Haha.
Yeah, I've never had a website. I've never actually done any marketing. I've never paid 1 cent for marketing.
That's exactly why I was bringing it up, because I found you initially, would have been a while ago now. It was probably before the shop was set up. When you started posting about it is when I found you, and I was like, oh, here we go. Like, this is, you know, a guy who's just like out there doing his thing, and all of a sudden the shop was up, and I was like, oh shit, like this isn't just another dude who's like, I want to start my own store. This is a dude actually starting his own fucking store. And then because I think I'd seen a couple of your like bodgy bedroom breaks, basically.
Like the downstairs of our townhouse.
And I just call everyone's bodgy bedroom breaks when it's at their home. Like, mine's, as you can tell, this is my home. Like most people.
We all start somewhere, that's it.
Exactly. And I'm not too fussy
at home.
Yeah.
You get to go to bed straight after it. You don't have to stay at the shop for hours.
Exactly. I can just like walk 2 steps to my bedroom. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing this as a full-time job because I hate working corporate, which is what I do. But that's later Albert stuff. Like, I've had enough troubles. Like, I had to get my ABN because I was like, yeah, okay, I'm earning enough money now that I'm turning over enough money now that I need to like, you know, which is a funny thing I wanted to stress to people as well. It's like, breaking isn't going to make you a millionaire. You know, and if it has somehow, like, good for you, like, what? But I mean, as you would know yourself, like, setting up your own business, like,
breaking definitely won't. You know, by the time you actually look at it, cost of product, GST, once you get legit, logistics, the time you spend sorting, like the shop's at the point now where we, you know, sometimes do 2 or 3 breaks a night, whether it be 1 football and a couple of basketball or something like that. I've always a thing with the shop is like, when I'm the one that breaks the cards, so I'm the one that sorts and packs the cards essentially. So like, you know, the blame's always on me if something goes wrong. I wanted it to be that way. But you know, when it comes to the reason I did the shop was because where you make the money, it's in the loyalty of your customers for one, but it's in the singles, it's in the packs. They're the things that you can sell daily that keeps the place open. Like I've had to expand into Pokemon. I didn't have one Pokemon card when I opened the shop. I think now I probably have over 50,000 Pokemon cards.
Jeez.
We've got boxes, you know, we've got cases of Vivid here, Darkness Ablaze, Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm now stocking Dragon Ball Z that you said before. I'm now stocking Magic the Gathering, which I never thought I would. You know, more coming in.
More power to you if you can find the Magic the Gathering to stock at this point. Thanks, Wizards.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because I actually do get allocation for that stuff through because I do have bricks and mortar. So again, that's something that I never thought, and it's not making massive money, but when you get a variety of different products and a variety of clientele, it just separates your margins. You only need to make, you know, 10% from each, then instead of like 80% from one, you know, to make bank or make the rent and all that kind of stuff. So it was a good option for me, but the one thing for me was just trying to keep everyone's stuff safe. Essentially, we store people's break cards after the break, so needed a secure premise that wasn't my home, and you know, we've got very good security here, and it's something that, yeah, with obviously people coming to the house to pick up cards previously, it wasn't really what I wanted as well, people coming to my home, so the shop was pretty much the only option for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the one thing that just like worries me is I've always been in the public eye. People have always had access to my address pretty easily, whether you buy off me on eBay or whether you come into a break or whatever. Like, you can even just search me up on the internet and my details are everywhere because I'm a Magic the Gathering content creator and now an NBA content creator. So, and breaker and online store, many hats. But yeah, like my details have always been out there for like pretty easy for somebody to find, and that's it. Like my thought always is like, what if somebody breaks into the unit somehow and gets through the security door downstairs, and then just like ransacks my product that I've got sitting here, like that I've broken for somebody? Because if that product's gone, like that's hard to replace somebody's, you know, a full break's worth of people's cards, because trying to find all those singles.
Yeah, that's another, you know, thing with, you know, doing it legit. Like, again, I pay insurance every single month, which obviously covers for that. And one of those things which when I open a shop, you know, they're never going to insure you for millions and millions of dollars, because it's, you know, not the responsible thing for them to do. So you need to have like other forms of insurance to make sure that I'm looked after. So, you know, I've got business interruption, and one of those things basically covers, you know, the fact that I could have to sit there for hours on end and go through and rewatch breaks and work out what people are missing. So it's it's pretty important, obviously, to do it legit when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, I'd hate for the worst to happen and not be covered.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, and especially with like, so you just sent me some very delicious images on Instagram. Of some very delicious cards, and I might let you talk about those cards in just a second as well. But I mean, especially with stuff like that on the premises, and it's not just you. It's like most serious collectors that I know have some pieces in their collection that are, generally speaking, half of them are flip, half of them are hold, and then there's some PC stuff. People who generally run stores don't really have a whole lot of personal collection, because they're usually just like buying and selling a whole bunch of cards, or they've, you know, flipped their PC so that they could start their business. How is that for you? Do you have a small PC? Do you have, you know, mostly just investment pieces?
To be honest, like I've never sold a piece out of my collection.
Is it because you've collected nothing but Ignis Bregisdecus?
It's worse than in Kyle Kuzma.
That's not too bad though. Like,
I don't know.
Kuz. Okay, so Kuz is actually a fairly stable player. Like, yeah, like, you know, it's not bad. And Jamie, sorry, I was poking fun at my friend Jamie, who was telling me about his Ignis Bregisdecus collection. I mean, I collect
Yeah, so I'd say
I collect fucking
probably,
Carson Edwards, so you know, like, I'm in a glass house throwing stones at this point.
At least we've got both good teams, hey? Celtics and Lakers.
Exactly,
Who
the two
actually
best teams ever.
actually support the Lakers, but yeah, Kuzma's just one that it's just stuck with us. Like, we bought a French bulldog, and we were thinking for a name, and we literally went through and thought we picked someone from the 17-18 class. He hasn't drafted yet, and Kuzma's what we got. And then yeah, we just got another Frenchie the other day, and his name's Zion as well. So we've got Kuzma and Zion. I might start a Zion PC. Who knows?
You should. Actually, that's funny because that actually runs into my mail time, which I guess should go to my top-down camera. So the first thing you'll notice that is here on my top-down, is my Discord crashing. That was weird. Give me a secco. So my Discord just absolutely crashed then.
Yeah, I thought it did.
That was really weird. I don't know what just happened. Let me just share up my screen again. It's a great day for it. It's a great day for everything going wrong. There we go. You should be able to see it now. So the fine folks over at Card Caddies sent me this mail day box. I will explain what this is. So, Card Caddies has a $199 box that is intended for not just the general public, but also for breakers, which is pretty cool. The other thing is that it has a 1 in 50 chance of having a money ball, a 1 in 50 chance of having a cherry pie from Cherry Collectibles, or a 1 in 50 chance of having a jersey swap for a cool jersey. I just want to bring up some of the sell information here because I don't want to say something wrong. Specifically, I basically said to them, and anyone would have caught this over on Instagram, that I would tell the general public exactly what I feel about this particular box. $200 is a lot of money to part with, so you definitely want value. And I've been told that that's exactly what we'll be getting out of the box. And it's random. So even this box, even though we somehow got number 1, is random, which is fine. Now, the box you can see here from the size of my hand, I can hold a basketball. This box is fucking massive.
I was gonna say, it's like a shoebox.
Yeah, it's basically a shoebox, which is great because one of the things that I said to them was like, is the box reusable? And they were like, yes. And I'm like, good, because I need a card box. Because I'm running out of space here in the what am I even calling this right now? The Carson Shrine Cave? And I had everything up before we had to reset my system, so that's fun. I'm definitely not buying time at all. So this is what I'm looking for here. So the mail day box is part hobby box, part collector box, and part breakers box. So breakers can actually purchase these and use them in breaks, which I think is kind of like a cool concept. That's sort of a side of the market that we're starting to see now with those mystery boxes. A lot of those boxes aren't available to public because it's like, nah, this is made for breakers. It says here that each box contains NBA related items of the following. So supplies, clothing items, sealed pack, and a range of different collectibles. As I was saying, there was a jersey switch relic, 1 in 50 chance at a cherry pie, and a 1 in 50 chance of a Moneyball, I think Series 2, and these are limited to a 50-box run.
Is this a multi-sport box?
I don't believe so, because it was just saying that it was all NBA, which is interesting. Okay, cool. I think the reason that they went for this particular packaging, and this coming from me being a board game designer by trade previously,
use it for it all.
Yeah, so basically, not just that you can use it for it all, but the volume in boxes you'd have to order to get a good price, a good cheap price on boxes. You would have had to have basically ordered a container full. It wouldn't have been like 1 or 2. You have to order like usually a couple of thousand. So ordering them like this and having like Pokeballs and all the other cool, you know, the sports, the soccer, the football, AFL, whatever you want to call it, I mean, that's an American football. I don't actually see an AFL ball on here anyway. Hockey puck.
I was about to say.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'm blind, alright? And baseballs. But yeah, and they were saying that if they do it this way and this big, they can fit other stuff in there eventually as well. So they can like keep changing it up during their seasons and then making them different. And that to me is also a gigantic win. Because if it was just NBA all the time and they were doing just NBA, I'd be kind of disappointed. But if they end up doing like ones for specific sports, I'm all in. I'm all in. If you do one that's like includes Pokemon, I'm absolutely looking at that going like, that's tasty. Because that's my guilty pleasure. Unfortunately, I don't get to open as much Pokemon as I would like, thanks to the way that the hobby is at the moment. Because I can only afford one Vice. Alright.
Good luck, sir.
Thanks. Now, full disclosure, again, I got this for free. They asked me to open it on the channel. And I told them that if it's shit, I'm going to tell them and I'm going to tell all of you. And I want to preface that because I think it's the one thing that people that follow my channel know is that I will call out bullshit and tomfuckery when it happens. I can't stand tomfuckery. It's just one of those things. Ooh, okay. I don't know what this is, but it looks like a card. A literal card. Mail Day! Hey Al, we appreciate your contribution to the industry. We appreciate you being open and the support to us already. No, you're fine. We hope you love the Mail Day box as much as we do. We can't wait to see your reaction and feedback when you open the box. Thank you, Jordan and Bailey. Yeah, we'll see. Well, I can already tell you that I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm just going to move this up here. Alright. Why is it everyone just goes to fucking Michael Jordan? I'm going to be that guy. Alright, so what do we got here? Fresher. Okay, cool.
Air fresheners?
Yep, air fresheners. Ooh, it smells lovely. I mean, I don't have a car, guys, so you know, that's great. Pack of hoops. We'll open that in a minute. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say like I'll just hang them in this room because this room does get a bit smelly. Just
get some brake sweat.
Well, it's just because I like keeping the blinds closed with the window open, but we've got a cat, so you know. Top loaders. Yeah. Top loaders are always a good addition to mystery boxes. Not enough fucking people do that. I'm gonna tell you right now. Because they're like liquid gold, still at the moment. Alright, they are some absolutely sick stickers.
Yeah, wicked.
Pack of sleeves. Who doesn't like a pack of sleeves? What is that? Regular card magnetic. Oh. Well, here's going to be your first problem. These are shit. These are absolute shit. I know because I hang out on so many forums and stuff to tell you right now that if you can't see the flex, there is actually a very slight concave blend, concave
yeah, I can see it.
Bend in these. They are trashed here. Do not use these for your cards ever. I wonder.
Times two.
Times two. And we've got a hat. That's actually kind of cool. I don't know, what do hats go for these days?
You got something?
Golfer snapback.
There you go.
Lakers champions hat. Just a shout out, guys. Maybe don't.
Still on the price tag.
Maybe don't leave the price tag on your products. I took it off. Apparently they go for $50, or at least at the time.
There you go.
All right, let's just put that down there for a second. It's a cup. It's their own branded mail day cup. I mean, I'm going to use it, but I think it's a bit of an odd inclusion in one of these boxes. I'm going to be honest here. If I paid $200 for that, I would absolutely be a little bit sad. Most mystery boxes, you're absolutely not going to hit what you want. But if this is intended for a breaker to break in a break,
yeah,
not having any cards other than a sealed pack is always going to be troublesome. No breaker is going to want to break this to give away a free mug that they can't transport, because that's going to cost them too much money. Sure, I guess that they want to give out some toppies. The hat is a cool touch. I'm not gonna argue with that. Like, the clothing piece is cool, but I don't think that I would want to pay more than like $100 for what I just saw.
To be honest, I was doing the values in my head as you went, and I think there's about $100 in value in it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
To me, there needs to be an item in there that, you know, or at least an item you can hit. I suppose there is, but there's still not.
There is, but it just feels like, unless there is like actual, like even a $30 graded card.
Yeah, there has to be like inflation.
What do we get in here? Cameron Johnson, Terrence Mann, Jamal Murray, Kent Bazemore, Cameron Johnson, Hassan Whiteside, Isaiah Thomas, and some guy I don't care about. Awesome. Pretty much didn't even hit anything out of the booster pack. That feels bad. Yeah, so I would probably give this a D, I'm afraid. The cup is a cool touch, and maybe it's included for the actual breaker. But it's a cup. Like, I'm not gonna break this and send a cup to someone, because the size dimensions of this, if I have to send it to somebody overseas, is gonna kill me. Not because of weight, but because of the actual volume of the cup itself. The snapback hat was cool. I mean, obviously, you know, it could be a jersey or whatever, I get it. But all in all, I just don't think that there is as much value as what you intended to have.
What were the hits again? The big ones?
There's Moneyball Season 2. There's a Cherry Collectibles Cherry Pie, which are in themselves a bit questionable. Because I've seen some great stuff come out of those, and I've seen like $10 cards come out of those, so that makes those a bit iffy. And a jersey swap.
Yeah.
So, But mail day.
Let's go.
Now, first part of my mail day is going to be a bit wrong one. Part of my mail day is going to be a bit weird, because technically speaking, I shouldn't be calling it a part of mail day. I opened me a fat pack that I can only say was probably the hottest fat pack I have ever opened of NBA. I don't know if you saw it, Jamie, on... did I just say Jamie? I'm going to call you Mr. Blunt. I don't know if you saw it on... I don't know if you saw it on Instagram, but it was basically a LaMelo Ball base, a LaMelo Ball explosion.
Wow.
Yeah. An Onkongu signature, and an Okoro Holo class of 2021. So it was pretty much like and the Kobe Gold Holo Slam cover.
Stop it.
Yeah, so it was pretty much $600 for 40.
Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, I know someone that sold that LaMelo ball for $350 today.
Oh, well, there you go. That's why I'm like, I should probably sell it. I kind of want to HGA grade it, but I kind of just want to sell it.
It looks centered, like well centered.
Yeah, I looked at it and I'm like, it looks really good. Just for those at home.
HGA. I think, you're gonna definitely get it back in 60 days or even 30, depending on what you pay.
Yeah, I was like, if I send it away, I'd probably try and pay for like 30 days. I wouldn't pay the 2 days. I think that's ridiculous, but
you got some cards in the last submission, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I got 4 cards through.
Yeah, that's all.
Which I don't even remember what they were, but I've got a list somewhere. Then I opened another one and I got a Kyrie Irving in the explosion, which is kind of cool. And of course, I kept cracking LaMelo foils because why not? So, class of 2021. Went in some cherry breaks, of course. Got me some Donruss. That was hilarious. They were. I decided on Pistons because I wanted my boy, which we'll get to in a second because it's hilarious. I don't know how many breaks I went in as Pistons, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Saban Lee, and then Sadiq Bey. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we have the irony of me constantly getting Isaiah Stewart's whilst not actually PCing him. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we got who I was actually chasing, which is Killian Hayes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I tell you, I'm assuming it was probably 6 boxes. So maybe like 2 breaks. Yeah. And I didn't get much, but at least I got my Killian Hayes spaces, so that's fine. Went and bought myself from eBay. I know, don't get me started, we'll talk about it. A beautiful pair in the key, Larry Johnson. It turns out that it is chewed on the edges, the corners are bung, and it has actually a binder indentation. Oh, there it is. Just there.
Yeah.
So I'm still tempted to send it to HGA. The guy gave me a full refund and was like, sorry, like I usually check all the cards before they go out. I didn't realize this one was in such bad condition because I did my usual of like sending complete negative feedback and then photos. Because
like not that you've done the wrong thing, but I'm very like hesitant to sell cards on eBay that aren't numbered.
Yeah.
So I've sold cards before, and like where I think that they're in good condition, and then I get a message back saying that I've sold them a ding card, and it's like, is that the card that I sent you? But yeah, it's one thing that I try and be careful of. Obviously, that's not what you've done, but yeah. Yeah,
exactly. I'm always really, really, really like when I first sold the Hoops LaMelo when it first came out for like 180 on eBay. I was so worried the person would just like claim default and like scrunch it and send it back. Because you're not protected at all by anyone. Like, if anything, the buyer is the one who's protected. Liam says, sick hat, easy, $60. I've been balding for years, so deep into the hat scene. Nice, Liam. I get you. I'm picking it up, buddy. Speaking of sick buys, I bought myself this Ascidian Carson Edwards that I didn't have in my collection. I saw it and I had to have it. I know I said I would stop buying Carson, but don't look at the next card. So that was just a cool buy. I think that was like maybe $20. This was a buy from Cherry, I think, at $35. This is to 10, Tools of the Trade, Carson Edwards.
Nice.
I had to have it. Like, it's just such a gorgeous card, and to 10, I didn't actually have any Tools of the Trade. It's funny because the night before this offer got accepted for the 35, I actually bought one of the ones to 99 off somebody on Facebook for 35 as well. So I was like, all right, well that's great. Like, I'll have both in my collection. The next one is Top Shot, and this is hilarious. So if anyone doesn't know my plight with Top Shot at this point, I still can't withdraw my money. It's been 3 weeks since I did my security KYC check. so I'm coming up with inventive ways around, which is generally speaking trading high, cool looking, expensive moments for physical cards. This one was a Zion in, I think, the 4,000 range. I think it was like 4,3 something or other. And I don't know if you know much about Top Shot and NFTs.
Yeah. We've been getting into it. I've got a Zion moment as well, but definitely not that low numbered.
Yeah. So it was about 500 at the time that I did this deal. By the time we could start gifting again, it was actually more in the like 700 range.
Yeah.
But I had this whole chat with one of our other friends, Pat, on Friday night after our break, where I was talking about, you know, the value I'd gotten back already from other physical trades plus cash, considering I'd only put in $9 and I'm back to almost $2,000 in my kitty again, in my Dapper balance, means that anything else is just, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not losing money when I'm selling myself short.
Yeah.
And in this case, I got exactly what I wanted for the most part. Now, I know I always crow on about how Chronicles, like, nobody wants it and it's trash. But in this case, I made a little bit of a pass on it because it's Zion. We also got the Essentials Zion as well. This was all for that Zion moment that I was mentioning. Then we've got NBA Draft Ja Morant in the Mosaic. Then we have a Zion as well. This is the same deal. Then we have Hoops Premium Zion. And we have an Optic Zion. And just because this is really the only card that I wanted, we have a PSA 9 Prism Zion base.
Dang.
Which is what I really wanted, because I wanted a graded Zion in my collection, just to kind of hang on to, because I think that people are still writing off Zion for some reason. I don't really understand why. Like, he's a big guy, he's already eclipsing Shaq, like, he's learning, oh, I can't just be a big guy, I have to be able to shoot, and he's been working obviously on the off-season, because when he came in, he started throwing baskets, and it was like, wait, hang on, you can shoot now. What happened? So it's clear to me that he's absolutely looked at Shaq and gone, you know, Shaq always was at his pinnacle and thought that it was fine, whereas Zion's like, I think he's looked at that and gone like, you know, I could stay at this level, or I could like learn other skills and level up.
Yeah, exactly.
And that makes him dangerous.
Team.
Yeah.
Like, if you, the last few games I've watched, like, they've dusted up the Clippers the other day. I think they lost today to Portland by 1, but it was just, they look good. Like, he's running the floor convincingly. It's not like they're making hard work of it. And even to lose to Portland today, they still put up 124 points.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And that's a lot of points. Like, when you look at like the average for teams,
they scored 135 the night before, so it's 299 points in, you know, 2 games. There's not many, not that many, but there's not many that teams doing that out there. So 250.
Yeah, exactly. I actually think that if the bubble didn't exist last year, we probably would have seen Zion get Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I believe so.
Because he would have had more floor time, he would have played more, and he would have we would have been seeing what we're seeing now. I'm almost thankful that we didn't get to see that, you know, because like
especially now I can go run regular season, get some team chemistry up, and actually have a playoff run. I reckon they'll make the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. And it's going to be hilarious when they do, because people like me are going to have, you know, going to have some freshly graded HGA slabs coming in. Because that's, so basically with this, I mean, this optic is, as you can tell, pretty off-centered, left to right, top to bottom. But I still think, like, the surface is really good, there's no scratches, the corners are all pristine, so I'm still going to grade it anyway, because I'm like, yeah, it's off-centered, but like, even if it gets like a 9, which I'm hoping is what it's going to get, because, you know, off-center is only like one of those factors. Even if it gets a 9, even if it gets an 8.5, I'll be happy. But if it gets a 9 in one of those HGA slabs, and then if they make the playoffs, like, you're cheering.
Yeah.
You know, you just turned your $50 into like 300 easy. Like, wow, that was hard.
It's an easy game.
Pretty much. And it's one that I haven't played, right? So, like, I sent stuff off last year for grading that hasn't come back because I was, like, looking towards the future and, like, okay, well, I'll send off some of these, like, base Jordans from, like, early Upper Deck and Fleer and stuff like that. And, like, some... You know, I already knew that Magic Johnson was going to have his... You know, his documentary, his Last Dance, coming out at the end of the year. So I was like, I'll send some of those off for grading as well, because I had some, like, really nice stuff from the retro boxes I was cracking, because that's how the channel started, was retro boxes. Like me going, I haven't cracked this box in, like, 20 years, or I've never cracked this box at all. We only sold packs, and now I get to crack it, and it's hilarious. But also, like, I've been buying up a whole lot of 88, 89 Magic Johnsons, because they're about $5 a pop. You know? And it's like the stickers and the regular cards being so cheap, and they, like, get those graded and see how we go. And by the end of the year, like, when his doco comes out and they'll be in HGA slabs and looking pretty, like, that'll be great.
Worst case scenario is they'll look good and you can keep them for yourself.
Exactly. But I guess we should... Yep.
They're much prettier in a HGA slab. When you get a bad result, it doesn't hurt as much.
Yeah, I was looking at that as well, because I was like, if it was this... So, let's say Power and the Key. If I saw Power and the Key in a 7 PSA, I'd be like, nah. Just nah.
Yeah.
But if I see a 7 in a HGA slab with, like, the pretty colours on the tab, I'm like, you know what? That looks really aesthetically pleasing. I'm going to buy that.
Yeah, I'm 100% the same. Like, I've got Bismarck, like BGS 8 Noir patch autos, and, like, they're numbered to 10. I hate them, like, but I feel like if I got them into a new slab with the black and purple yellow at the splash at the top, you know, who knows, you might get a 0.5 better or a 0.5 worse, but I think it'll be aesthetically pleasing for me to have that sticking out of my carry case than just this dirty silver 8.
Exactly. Punter says sick LG Power and the Key. Yeah, it's chewed. But that's the thing as well, right? So, like, some card prices are higher than they should be because the card looks good. Like, let's face it, we know that that's a fact. We know that the human factor of buying a card ties into... Yeah, it ties into different aesthetics of the card itself. It's not like, we already know, like, that jersey number is a factor. We already know that, like, number 1 or number 99 is a factor, like the start or the end number. You know, eBay 1 of 1. But we also know that, like, you know, a teal explosion on a Charlotte's Hornets looks amazing because it's teal. It's the same color as the jersey, and it just makes it look so much prettier. So yeah, it's absolutely a factor. And I'm going to keep saying it, I don't for the fucking life of me know how PSA has gotten along this far without ever having to change their fucking slab headers. Like, especially, we know that they've changed their slabs several times. They've gotten smaller, they've gotten thinner, they've gotten better. You know, they stack easier these days. But to not have changed their tab headers is fucking beyond me. The same with Beckett, like, just getting away with it because they can. And it's like, well, now HGA's here, so...
Had a nicer slab than PSA, I think, so they haven't really been worried. But yeah, I think they really... We actually got our July PSA submissions back yesterday, so there you go. That's a 9-month turnaround.
Well, maybe
they're
I'll
definitely nice and do stack well.
Yeah, maybe I'll get mine back